Hi, my name is Fabode, CEO and co-founder of Varuna. And at Varuna, we're bringing visibility to water system operators so that they can deliver clean water efficiently. Before I dive into the business, I'll just touch briefly on my background and my co-founders. I've spent 18 years in the utility industry, predominantly in power, including a stint as an operations engineer for a power plant in London, and then moved to the US and started Varuna while powered a switch while I was in business school at the University of Chicago, which is when I met Jamel, my co-founder. He was an early employee who ended up leading sales, really on the founding team. And we've come together to address a problem that we all experience, you and I, which is experienced through poor quality water. But the real issue is that water system operators do not have visibility into water beyond the water treatment plant. The consequence of that, as I've just mentioned, is poor water quality, which in some cases leads to death, as in this case recently in Houston, Texas. But the Houston, Texas scenario is not just the only one. We all remember what happened in Flint, and unfortunately, 53 million Americans drank contaminated water at some point last year due to violations by 42,000 systems. And as I've just shared, the real issue here, yes, we know the infrastructure constraints, but the real issue here is that water system operators know exactly what's going on in the plant. Once they pump it out into the distribution system, they either wait for you and I to call to let them know if there's a problem, or they send a guy on a truck to take a sample, which means they're blind to the real-time state of water quality. When that technician grabs the sample, brings it back to the lab, it doesn't get shared across the organization, which means there's high unlikelihood that the remediation actions necessary will be taken, and technicians, like all human beings, have errors in their work. And so what we do to address this problem is simply drop in nodes, what you see on the right of your screen, into the critical spots, EPA-defined spots within their distribution system. The nodes pull data back into simple but intuitive AI-powered dashboards that alert if there's a problem, provide remediation workflows, and also, as we gather more data, we can start to predict what might happen in terms of water quality so that the operators can address them proactively instead of the reactive nature of their operations currently. We take away the manual truck rolls and replace it with 30% increased efficiencies through IoT devices in the field, which reduces the violations the water system has and improves the operational capability of the technicians that they currently use for the manual process. And beyond just the improvements in water quality, we also do this at a price that our customers have told us is reasonable and affordable for them, cheaper than the $1 million software and IoT solutions being offered by some of our competitors, and still cheaper than the manual but old and inefficient approaches that the water systems use. We provide our service to them as a software as a service offering that is familiar. And the timing is right too. We're seeing investor-owned utilities buy up municipal utilities that are struggling under the strain of both COVID and climate change. And as these IOUs buy up the municipal utilities, which make up part of this $4.5 billion addressable market that we're approaching, we're seeing increased adoption of advanced technologies like IoT and AI in the industry. Hence, our initial target market is the investor-owned utilities. And beyond just dropping the nodes into the system and providing deep insights based on the data we capture, we're moving the utilities into a future where they have digital representations of their physical system so that they can run um, future water systems that consistently, because of an understanding of the system, consistently deliver clean water. And we're doing this, and we've been doing this for about a year and a half now as we execute with capital efficiency and we nail the profile and the need of the customer over the first year and a half. And we're pushing into progressing with our go-to-market strategy of investor-owned utilities, as I mentioned, with our first investor-owned utility contract memorandum of understanding with Rotoplas, the largest water system in Mexico, with 6 million customers. We also signed Trenton and Benton during COVID as we continue to progress. And with that clarity, we've built a robust pipeline of customers and prospects that we're moving through the pipeline, the funnel, with increased sales velocity. And we're doing this in a market where we have some old incumbent competitors that haven't really adopted innovative technology, startups in the industry that are monitoring usage and leakage, and companies like Itron from the power sector that are trying to get into water. But we've nailed the product, the promise for the market segment, and we're competing clearly in a space where some of these competitors are unable to match the way we've approached it yet. And we were doing this with a team of experts in software, hardware, and partners like the Clean Energy Trust that are propelling us into uh, delivering our product through a simple, straightforward business model, software as a service, tiered based on the size of the utility and their desire for advanced technology. And we're approaching them with a two-pronged go-to-market strategy. Enterprise sales directly to the investor-owned utilities that gets us into a few hundred of their water systems in the portfolio, and partnerships with consultants, numerous consultants in this industry who have trusted relationships with water utilities, and our product complements the service that these consultants provide. And with this strategy, we're looking to get into 50 investor-owned utilities by year 4 with this clarity of market segment. It allows us to get into the IOU and flow down into their portfolio of a few hundred water systems, hence the projections you see up here. And we're already on our way. We just closed our seed round and moving towards our vision of building water systems of the future, digital representations of the physical water system, so water system operators can deliver clean water consistently. And even though we've raised our round, we'd love to still talk to you, have conversations with you if you believe in this digital water future that we're building for water systems. Thank you.